And a very good morning to you, boys and girls. It's Thursday, the 8th of November 2018. Welcome to this morning's United Kingdom Talk, coming to you from the Chapel Hill Marina here in Lincolnshire, gang. I have to tell you, I'm struggling once again with the message system this morning. There's bits and pieces coming through, and then they seem to stop, and I don't know if they're ever going to resolve this. It's just a complete and utter pain. It really is. What I used to do is have 3 different things up and you could keep an eye on all of it. And now it's all supposed to come into one thing. And it just doesn't seem to work properly all the time. It's most annoying. I can see so far on the Facebook Live, Evan, good morning Evan, Diane, Kevin, and Nikki. That's what I can see on here. There's one from John Parrish on YouTube. Good morning, John. And I think he's the only one on there. And that's about it. So if anyone else has sent in any other messages, I don't know why that is. I really don't. I mean, they try and improve things and they just don't seem to work properly after blooming time. But we'll see what happens. Anyone else on Facebook who wants to try sending something in now, that might work now. I don't know. Oh, you just want to throw your hands up in the air sometimes. What I used to do is have the show running, literally watching what you're watching on an iPad, which is here, which I've paused for the moment. The trouble is that uses twice as much data. Not only that, when you go to news stories, which are also on here, you lose the continuation of the messages, and then that bit when you're not looking at them, they start, and people get ever so irritated sometimes when you don't read the messages out. Not that this program is supposed to be like just message reading. I do try and do a little bit myself. Do you know what I mean? Good morning to Paul and... oh, there we go. That's coming in now. Paul's in Birmingham. Good morning, Paul. Welcome along to our show there. I've got Ray Reynolds has just joined us there. Good morning, Ray. Jimbo Clark. Jimbo, where we going to go? We old Jimbo. I remember that. That's working now. But it's oh, no, it's working on here now as well. Okay. It seems to be like... I don't know. It seems to be sometimes like those first couple of minutes where it just doesn't connect immediately. Do you know what I mean? It takes a little while to get going. Like the rest of us when we get out of bed, isn't it? I have to say, I'm full of aches and pains at the moment. This is since I hurt my back. I didn't put my back out. I hurt my back on Monday morning, simply opening an oven door. And then you kind of walk in a different way. So now all my legs are aching because you use different muscles, because you're trying to walk in a different way to avoid pain on your back. So that's just how it is, I'm afraid. You know, one of those things as you get older, little aches and pains. I mean, poor Ray Reynolds, I don't know how he's able to get out the seat, to be honest. And what about Colin? A very good morning to Colin, who joins us. Colin was mugged recently, and I just saw... that you were having trouble sleeping and worrying ever since you were mugged. I just can't imagine what it's like for someone to come up to you with a, I don't know if you had a knife held against you or something like that, give me your mobile phone. I can't imagine what that... I don't know what... I don't think you know what you'd be like until it happens. Do you see what I mean? I have the terrible feeling I'd freak out. I'd absolutely freak out. Whether or not that would do me any favours or not, I don't know. The police would tell you to just hand it over. I have a feeling I'd freak out and go all over the place. Don't know. Morning to Evan. Are you enjoying the Planet Mars quiz? Yes, Evan. Now, you may remember on the show, was it on Sunday, I think it was, or Monday, maybe, I mentioned a bright red star in the sky. And a lot of people, including Evan, who is he's got his own observatory, big observatory down in Cornwall, said it was Mars. And I take that on board, yes. I don't know. I'm not believing this, to be honest, Evan, because I've seen Mars many times before, and it's kind of orangey. This was like the red light in a plane. Okay, you know how that colour red? It was like the red light in a plane, except it wasn't flashing and it wasn't moving. Now that's a bit different to the kind of orangey glow that I'm used to seeing with Mars in the sky. So I don't know if it was Mars, but it certainly wasn't moving, and eventually it disappeared. It was a cloudy night as well, and it was the only thing I could see. Not only me, I immediately rung mine. I was actually walking back from the swimming pool on Sunday night, and I messaged my neighbour who lives next door to me in my house in Bracknell in Berkshire, and he went out and saw it as well, and he thought it was a bit odd as well. It didn't look like Mars to him either. Maybe it was I don't know, some sort of balloon or something but it wasn't moving, and it just disappeared. It just went. It just disappeared. I hope you don't disappear too soon. I really don't. There we are. Those messages are coming in now. Paul says, did you see the old chap on the news? 98 years old. Yes, I did. 98 years old. He was beaten up, and they nicked it in his house. Do you know what they nicked? A TV worth 50 quid. Honestly. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. And I've been watching the news of what's going on with stabbings in London, and people are becoming more violent. I don't know what's causing that. It's very worrying. People are shouting and screaming at the mayor and the police like it's their fault, and I don't know what else they can do. They're now talking about putting these metal detectors around school doors. Oh, it's just frightening what's going on the news at the moment. Paul, I don't know if they got the people that beat up the 98-year-old man. I mean, what defence he could possibly have put up. Why they had to beat him black and blue, I do not know. Why couldn't they have just picked up the telly and gone? No, they had to beat him up while they were there as well. Ridiculous. What was he going to do? Hit him with the walking stick? These people are pathetic. They really are. Ghastly people. Stellarium. I'll have a look at that. Jimbo says, was it a ruby red colour? Absolutely, Jimbo. Ruby red, a bright red like a pillar box, like a post office box. That's what the colour it was. It was absolutely ruby red, bright red in the sky it was. Never seen anything like it. John says, over in the Philippines, if you're mugged and they have nothing, they shoot or stab you for wasting their time. Is that right? God's sake, man. Evan, Mars this time around has a low orbit plane this year. Yeah, but it doesn't explain to me, Evan, why it looks so different than it does normally. It was bright red. It was absolutely bright, like a red torch in the sky, and it just disappeared. Why did it disappear? I think someone stole Mars. That's what's happened. Ray, good morning, Ray. Johnny and the George Thornbury Society was at the Pinewood TV studios yesterday with Harry Hill. Yeah, they were doing some filming yesterday. He was there all day. I hope they gave you sandwiches, Ray. We don't want you wasting away, dear. You know, don't get to Monday and you're too weak because you've not had anything to eat today. Shocking. Anyway, as I say, I've got aching legs at the moment, but guess that'll sort itself out. I went swimming yesterday, as I said I would, down at the Horncastle Leisure Centre. Now, someone said to me to go to the Horncastle Emporium, which I looked up on the internet. No such place exists. However, it gave me the Horncastle Antiques Place. Now, is an antiques place an emporium? Is an antiques place also known as an emporium? In which case, if it is the same place that you went to, oh no, who was it who went there? Was it Paul? Was it Paul who went there? Morning, Michael. Morning. Was it Paul who went to the Emporium? I can't remember now. Anyway, if it's that place, then I actually have to turn. Oh, excuse me. I actually have to turn left off the main Horncastle Road to get to the swimming pool. I go past that. It's got a police station next to it. Is that the place you meant? Because there's some wonderful pieces in there. Beautiful old chairs that have been reupholstered with bright colours. And you know I like bright colours. Oh, I could have one in here, couldn't I? To replace this old desk chair. Wouldn't that be nice? Like a proper chair. Mind you, it might not move around like this, wouldn't it? One of those with the wings. Why have elderly people got seats with wings? Is it so that if they sort of, I don't know, if they fall asleep, the wing will catch them as the head goes on. As the head goes down. It was, Paul, yeah. Am I right in thinking that's the place? You come off the main road. If you're coming from Woodall Spa, You come off the main road and it's left and it's right on the corner there. And round the corner from that is the most delightful chip shop where I visited yesterday. Naughty Chris going to the chip shop. If that's the place, then yes, I have to go past that on the right. Once I've turned left, it's on the right. Then past the police station. Then I turn sharp right. And you've got to be careful where you're going down that road because it's a bit narrow. And then left again at the end, and the swimming pool's at the end of that road. That's where I go swimming. Isn't it a small world, Paul? You could have been in the same water as me. How exciting is that if you go swimming? Yes, thought so. So I got in the swimming pool around about 12 o'clock. It wasn't too bad yesterday at all. What I have noticed in that particular swimming pool is that people seem to respect the fact that you're coming towards them and you're going to, because sometimes it can get a bit busy and everyone's going in lines and they get out of the way. Doesn't happen in Bracknell. They just swim at you. Or the slow people get in the way and clog up the system. In Bracknell, doesn't seem to happen like that here. Let me turn my heater off. I'm getting a bit hot now. So I was in there and round about 20 to 1-ish, I suppose it was, I noticed that people were getting out. I thought, okay, right. And then a couple of minutes later, there was only 3 of us left in the pool. Great big pool it is. It's much longer than the one in Bracknell, so I do less. And then another couple of minutes later, someone else got out, which left 2 of us in there, me and some old bloke. And I was nearly up to my 40 lengths. I do 40 lengths in there instead of 60 because it's much longer. And I finished my 40 and the bloke is by this, like, you know, the step up things, waiting, sort of having a rest. And I went to get out. I said, there you go, mate, it's all yours now. And as I was getting out, I said, do remember to keep out the way from the people coming towards you. There's no one else in the pool now. So I got out and I went into the showers. Now the showers, as is with many, many swimming pools and gyms these days, is mixed. So boys, or men and ladies, boys and children, everyone shares the same showers, okay, and the same locker room. Now I don't have the problem with a locker room. I get that. There's little doors. You get in your little room, close the door, fine. I have a real problem with this mixed shower business because, and I've mentioned this before, you can't clean yourself properly. Okay, you can put the soap on the hair, the soap on the arms, the chest, the legs, but you can't get it down your shorts properly. Do you know what I mean? And I don't believe, unless you can take all your clothes off and get that soap into all those little nooks and crevices, how can you clean yourself properly? I do try. So I'm in the shower. What I do is I put the stuff on and I start rubbing away at myself, cleansing myself from the evils of chlorine. And then down the front of my shorts, I put some down there, and I'm kind of going like this, and I'm facing the wall at the same time. So anyone coming past, it must look really dodgy that you're doing something like that, mustn't it? And I do the same with the back. You know, I get the soap down there, you know, in between, and I'm rubbing away at the... And then when I finish doing that, I start showering off. And again, you know, I pull the front of my shorts forward and I'm trying to get the water to go in the shorts to clean myself. You can't do that in a mixed shower properly. I hate mixed showers. They did the same at the Bracknell Leisure Centre years ago. I stopped going. In Bracknell, I belong to the Living Well, which is part of the Hilton Hotel. It's a nice place, and they have separate changing rooms and separate showers. You know, some of the blokes walking around in there naked, not a pretty sight, but nevertheless, you're able to do that. You're able to clean yourself in the showers because there are only men in the showers and there are only women in those showers. You put them together, you can't shower properly. It's just such a stupid idea. Anyway, so I'm nearly finished now. And the old bloke's coming from, you know, the last one who was left in the swimming pool. As I was showering, I could hear a bit of a commotion going on outside in reception. But I wondered what that was. And then the bloke came in, and I said to him, I said, did you get lonely on your own? He said, oh no, all the kids are coming in a minute from the school. He said, you want to get in there quick now because all the changing rooms go. And I said, oh right, okay. So I finished myself off. I've gone in the changing room. Too late, mate. Every single changing room is full of kids. all the little rooms are closed and you can't get out of it. Oh, no. Anyway, I walked across to the other changing rooms and luckily there was a teacher. So I said, any of these free at the moment, my love? The lady teacher in there. She said, yeah, the one on the end. So I ran in there quickly and closed the door and I managed to change. And then all the school children came in. So I assume that you've got to be out by 1 o'clock, I suppose. As I say, I left the pool around about 1:45. The bloke came out at about 1:55. But if you want a changing room, I would imagine you've got to come out at around about 1:50 or something like that. Have a shower and get in there quickly before the children got in. I don't have a problem with children in swimming pools. Honestly, some people are really awful. They really are. Oh, the kids are on holiday. You know, we can't do it. We're not going this week. We're not going swimming. The kids are on holiday. For God's sake, they're children. They need to learn to swim as well, as you did, you miserable old bastard or woman. You know, I'm sorry, ladies, it does tend to be the old bags that are moaning rather than the old men. The old men, they just get on with it. We just get on with it. Moan and they moan and they moan. And as you know, I don't like people that moan unnecessarily about everything, which they do all the time. Ghastly people. Thank you, Paul. Paul says it's not sure about the police station. It was opposite a traffic light junction. Yes, right on a corner. So you wouldn't be able to see the police station unless you went down that road. Because it's Emporium, few houses, police station, few houses. Then you turn right and then left to get to the swimming pool. So unless you actually went a bit further down that road, because the houses kind of stick out a little bit, the police station is kind of hidden unless you go down the road and then it's there on the right-hand side. Good morning to Chris Manzar. Michael says I can go to his for a shower. I'd be very, very happy to do that, Michael. Anytime your shower is... But I'd be very, very worried. You know, if I drop the soap on the floor, would you pick it up for me? That's... That's the question. Thank you, Michael. I might come round on Friday after I finish work after a shower. Just send me your address, all right, and I'll be over there. Good. Good morning to, there we are now, Stafford. Morning to Blakey. Now let's see if that came up on there. No, it didn't, you see. I can see you've come up on one message system and not the other one. Let me just scroll back here. The same thing happened to some of Ray Reynolds' message yesterday. Claire, good morning, Claire. Kevin's had back pain. Now, where have these messages come from? It's very, very strange and mysterious. There we are. Oh, I've just missed that. Claire as well. There's good morning, Claire. Kevin's had back problems as well. How did you put yours out, Claire? Kevin, how did yours out? I was simply opening the oven door and it went. I might be just better to read them off this and keep that going like that. I don't know. See, that's Michael. You can come to mine for a shower. There's Michael. Chris Manzar. They all come up on here. Maybe that's the way to do it because I've found a way now. Does that work? I found a way to actually pause the video, but the messages still come in, so that's good news. Good morning, Mark Lackey. Hope the pub's going well, and say hello to the lovely Carla for me while she's there. So that was the swimming. Come out of there, popped round to the chip shop, and then over to my nephew's little car place where he fixes cars. He's got a unit in Horncastle, and I took him some chips around there. I had baked beans on chips. Oh, delicious. Baked beans on chips. Sat in there talking a little bit, came back here, had a little sleep, and then I went round to my niece's last night for some muck around with the kids there, and some chips and a veggie burger and ice cream. I tend to take round things like ice creams and sweets now for the children. I like to bring presents. Great nephew George says he likes me because, and I said, why is that then? Why do you like me? He said, because I bring him things. I'm not quite sure if that's the right way to be looking at stuff, but nevertheless, that's how George looks at it. And over the weeks, I have become closer to the children now. I'm very pleased to say. Now, you know, you can be sitting on a settee, and one of them, whoever, will just come next to you and sit on your knee or sit next to you on the settee and watch the telly, which is quite magical because this is all new to me with children and things like that. Really, it is. And I love it. Oh, Kevin's got kidney stones. Haven't they got to blast those with some sort of some sort of rays, some sort of ultrasonic sound or something like that. I downloaded this thing on my iPhone. It said ultrasonic sound keeps dogs away. Have you got that one? Have you got that thing? And you turn it on and it makes a noise, wee, like a high-pitched noise, and you can change the pitch of it, ooh, like that. And the idea is, if there's a dog barking or annoying you, just turn this thing on and get the right. But it doesn't work, dear. The dog just remained asleep, cats and all. Don't make any difference to them at all, so that doesn't work very well. Has anyone got a good suggestion to keep barking dogs away from you? Because I don't like dogs. Most dogs I don't like. They don't like me either. I don't know why that is. They just don't like me. Stafford, Staff's had very bad feet, suffering blisters. In the summer, my feet look like bubble wrap. Is it as bad as that? I had blisters on my feet in Vegas. Well, we were walking like 10 miles a day up and down the road, in and out of the wonderful hotels there. Fantastic place. Tom Edwards, who I met up with on Tuesday this week, he used to be on the telly and on the radio as well. He was saying he knows the owner of the Wynn Hotel in Vegas, and you know, you've got varying levels of and not class, but you know, I mean, you've got hotels that are like 1 star and 10 stars, you know, that sort of thing. And this would be at the higher end. Where myself and my nephew were staying, we were sort of on a scale of a 1 to 10 hotel. I suppose we were around about a 5 or 6. Well, the Wynn would be like 10 or 11, right? And he said, I'm so annoyed you didn't tell me that you were going to Vegas. He knows the owner of the Wynn, who also owned the Golden Nugget at some point. He said all he had to do was ring him, tell him we were coming, we would have met him, and he would have probably said to us, where are you staying? And he would have said the Excalibur. He said, well, go and get your bags. You're staying here for the rest of the week free of charge. He's like that because he's a multi-millionaire, you know, and that would have been lovely, wouldn't it? Also, it'd be quite interesting to see how all these things work. I mean, those hotels in Vegas, there are hundreds of rooms in some of those hotels. How on earth they keep it all going, I don't know. You know, from the tidying of the rooms to presumably they get blocked pipes and things like that. It's amazing how they keep it all going. John says, I use an electric dog collar to stop him barking. Well, is that someone you know or a dog? They should put electric collars on these people that do bad things. You know, like those people who beat up that old man yesterday. Or knife people. Put electric collars on and little cameras and you see what they're doing. And as soon as they do something bad, push a button and send out some sort of electrical wave and give them a bloody electric shock. They'll soon stop doing it then, won't they? Yeah, exactly. Morning to Pete Branch, who's in Brazil. He's still in Brazil at the moment. He's possibly moving back to the UK from Brazil, aren't you? Kevin's at the hospital. Okay, I hope you get your kidney stones sorted out. Now, what causes kidney stones? Different things, isn't it? Diet or certain drugs that you might be on to be doing something, whatever, something like that. Anyway, I got back here about, I also went, as I say, I went and got some ice cream and some sweets for the children down at the local co-op in Tattershaw, and I got myself some blueberries and vegetables because I've run out of blueberries for my breakfast. I have overnight oats usually for breakfast, which is blueberries, porridge oats and fat-free yoghurt layered in a jar. And I took them into my niece's house last night. Had the dinner, played with the children, got back to the caravan. Guess what? I've left them in her fridge. So I had no blueberries this morning, so I had to have porridge on its own with a little bit of sugar. Very bad to have sugar. Just a little bit, just a spoonful. That's enough to take away the sort of blandness of it. Dear me. You can get an e-collar on Amazon, is that right? To electrocute your dogs. I don't know if that's a good thing for a dog, to have an electric collar on a dog. That is not unnecessary suffering. I don't think you need an electric collar on a dog if you train it all right. I think it's an awful thing to have an electric collar on a dog. I bet people who agree with that one, they will. Good luck with your medical thing there, Pete, as well, in Brazil, all right? John says, calcium build-up using crappy water gives you kidney stones. Does that really? Well, I wouldn't be surprised if I've got those then. We've got very hard water in Bracknell in Berkshire. You know, it barely comes through the pipe, it's so hard. Bits of concrete come out the tap as you're trying to turn the damn thing on. So that's it. Got back to the caravan, as I say. Haven't got my blueberries or my vegetables. Had a FaceTime with my best mate, Ronnie. And I think went to bed about 11:15 last night. I've had trouble sleeping over the last 2 nights. And I'm putting that down to my aching legs and back. You know, you've got to get in a comfortable position. For some reason, I keep waking up, you know, 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning for some strange, unbeknown reason. But that's just how it is, isn't it? Right, let's do some stories this morning. Oh, what was that there? I just missed something there. A spoonful of sugar helped the medicine go down. The medicine go down, the medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in the most delightful way. Ba, 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 ba. There's a new Mary Poppins coming out, isn't there? Yes, at Christmas. I can't wait. And they haven't remade the old story. It's a new story. I'm very, very excited by that. I can't wait to go and see that. Going to the cinema tonight, incidentally, with my sister and her husband to see the Freddie Mercury film. Now, what's it called? Bohemian Rhapsody. Bohemian Rhapsody. Very, very good. Kevin wants to know, where can I get a good bed topper? If you want the best one, go to John Lewis. Go to John Lewis. There is a downproof one, which means the little, sometimes on the cheaper ones, you find the ends of the feathers push through. Don't buy a memory foam one. I had a memory foam bed once. Well, I replaced it within 6 months. So hard and uncomfortable. I don't know why they go, oh, and the memory foam moulds to your body. No, it's not. It's bloody hard. Awful memory foam beds. A nice soft bed. Feathers. 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 Go to John Lewis and get a downproof mattress topper. With that, it's got a layer of material at the top where the little feathers can't poke through, because there's nothing worse than that, let me tell you. It's not going to do you damage, but a little feather, the end of it will poke through and you'll lay on it. And you'll lay the other, and eventually you'll have to turn the light on and remove the feather, because it will annoy you. Got to spend the money, dear. Going to cost you about 150 quid for one of those, I'm afraid. Yes, but it will be top quality. I've had mine 2 years so far. Very happy with it. Top quality. John Lewis downproof mattress topper. It's like in 2 bits. There's like the thick bit, okay, and a thinner bit on top, and it's held together one on top of the other with buttons. And it's the thin bit on the top that stops the other feathers coming through. It's very thick. And the only thing is, if you're going to get a mattress topper, you're going to have to get new sheets as well. Assuming that you've got fitted sheets, because you've only got so much there and you need so much. You have to get the ones with the wider walls on there, okay? Have a little look on there. Paul says, check YouTube where some guys test them. What, the electric dog collars? Oh, that's a good idea. Paul, electric dog collars on some owners. Very good idea, sir. Very good idea. Pete says, I need one of those mattress toppers. My mattress is harder than Vinnie Jones' bum cheeks. Which I'd like to hold on to be honest. Oh, that's another story. Right, let's do some stories this morning. Now, look at this. The last ever bum. Now, this is in Brazil, isn't it, Pete? Is this your end of the woods? Oh. Have I lost communication with my iPad? There we are. Bum bust up. Now, here we go. Chaotic Scenes marked the last ever edition of... It is in Brazil. So you must know about this, Pete. Last ever edition of Brazil's Miss Bum competition. Last night, after a sore loser ripped off the winner's ribbon just as she was crowned. Now, I'm about to show you a female bum. It's not completely naked, but it might as well be. Are you ready? Close your eyes if you don't want to look. I'm going to show you now. Close your eyes. I'll let you know when it's gone. Ready? Here we go. There we are. Miss Bum. Look at that fat ass. How can anyone like that? Isn't it awful? Awful, dear. Okay, the bum has now gone. You may look back at your screens, boys and girls. That's in the Daily Mail this morning. It says Ellen Santana. It's a very Brazilian name, isn't it? Ellen Santana. Oh, hang on a minute. Something's happened there. Close that. There we are. Ellen Santana, 31, representing the state of Roraima. I think it's Roraima. Roraima. Roraima was awarded the coveted title of Brazil's best backside at the ceremony at Club Easy. Club Easy. I think I could be guilty of going somewhere like that. Called Chariots. In Sao Paulo. So how do you say that? Sao Paulo. I don't know. But another lady, Alvine Uva, 27, who missed out on any of the first 3 places, suddenly ran onto stage and snatched the ribbon from the legitimate winner before claiming she was the only 100% natural contestant. The stunt left onlookers at the long-awaited final, initially unsure as to who had won the accolade. How hilarious! Oh, I'd love to have seen that. They look like they're fighting. I'm going to see you a little bit of female nakedness again, although it's not naked, just bums. Ready? It's coming now. Here it goes. Look, they're fighting. They're fighting on the stage. I love it. Oh, dear. Furious Miss Uva, whose 110 centimetre bum is 5 centimetres bigger than the winner Miss Santana's, claimed that the vote had been sabotaged and that she should have won, as she was the only contestant with a backside which hadn't been surgically enhanced. Why would you want... I don't get this. Why would ladies, or anyone else for that matter, want to make their arses look bigger than they are? There's nothing worse than a great big fat lardy arse, is there? Let's be honest, there isn't. Awful. There's someone else famous for being no one, basically. No talent. Oh, what's her name? Kardashian. That's it. Have you seen that Kardashian's arse? What has she done to that? It's enormous. Why is that a good thing? Well, in these days of trying to look thin and gorgeous, as I am, why, oh why, would you want to make a part of you look fat? Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, yeah, look. Sorry, lads. Look fatter than it really is. In actual fact, I saw another story. Which I haven't got up on here, of men. Now, I can't remember what country. It might be Thailand. Men who are using fillers. I don't know if it's Botox or not. Some sort of fillers, and they inject it into their... Right, to make it look thicker. It's just madness. I don't know why everyone is obsessed with trying to change how they look unnaturally. I can understand a decent haircut, maybe even having your teeth pulled back into your head or your ears pinned back. I had sticking out. I had that. And I went to the dentist, and over a period of time, they gradually pulled them back into my head again. And I understand, sticking out ears, I get that. Some people don't like that, or even long noses. But honestly, some of the way people look, and it started with the faces, didn't it? Started with a bit of Botox there, didn't it? Then it went to the lips, those stupid lips that people look like bloody fishes, like that. And even the people that haven't had their lips done. Even those other people, a lot of these young people who are having their photos done. Let me blow my nose 1 moment, please. Oh, I do blow my nose very loudly. People in church usually do. I'd usually do it when the priest is doing his sermon and we're all falling asleep, And on the mountain, Jesus appeared, and we're like, everyone's like this. And I wake them up, especially the priest has actually physically thanked me, has actually verbally thanked me for blowing my nose in church, because it wakes everyone up. But anyway, back to the story. Yeah, people are having their lips done. Even the young people, when they're having their photos done, I mean, what that? Are you not aware of how stupid you look when you do that? And when you go and watch any of the American news programs, now this has not yet happened here, fortunately. I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will, because we tend to follow America sometime later. But you watch those American news programs, they've all had their faces done, blokes and women. Nothing moving up here. And the lips like that. Well, we've moved away from the face now to other parts of the body. We've had the breast implants. And now we're having bum implants and even injections to make the men's thing thicker. Why? Why? I mean, most of the time it just doesn't work from what I've seen. When you see these people on the telly with the lips that are done, do any of them look natural? No. You just look like you do. Looks awful. Let's finish off this story. Let's have a look here. The lady who ripped the winning ribbon, she said she's also gained the most public votes in the run-up to the final. Speaking backstage, she said, I obeyed all the rules and my bum is the only one that's 100% natural. I grabbed the winner's ribbon because I'm the only woman who really deserved the title. I represent the natural Brazilian bum and no one can take that away from me. The 3 women who got the most votes are all fake. This is in the day's Daily Mail. Their bottoms are pure silicone and that's an injustice. Is this the winner here? Hang on, Miss Uva. Is that the one? No, this is the one that said she should have won. Hang on, I'm going to show you. Okay, stand by everyone. Lady in bikini coming up. Turn away now if you don't want to see it. There we are. In the Daily Mail. And look back again. She's gone. That's the one who reckons she should have won it. The winner said she took my ribbon, but she can never take away my title. I worked the hardest to deserve this title because my bum is by far the firmest. To be a winner, you need to know how to lose. And if I'd have lost, I would have done so with dignity, unlike her. She added, now I want to be an inspiration to women around the world, to show them that they can achieve anything they dream of. And, do you want to see this bum once more? Do you want to see the winner's bum? Okay, I'm going to show you the winner's bum now. Okay, female bottom coming on the telly. It not completely naked, in tiny little thong type thing. Ready? Look away if you don't want to see it. Here we go. There you are. Look at that. Is that good, lads? Any of the straight lads watching today? What do you reckon? Is that all right? It looks a bit too fat for me. I don't like a fat arse. I'm sorry. Awful. Awful. What a sore loser she is. I mean, how embarrassing it is to go up on a stage and rip someone's thing on, someone's winning ribbon thing on just because you lost. That's awful, isn't it? Just awful. Good morning to Maureen, who joins us this morning. Thank you, Maureen. Have you not seen the scenery start video yet? Yeah, that's from round here. We've been running that a while now, a couple of weeks now. I'm glad you like it, Maureen. Simon Keane has messaged in. Now, I did say to you, Simon was working at Alton Towers. Apparently, he's not working at Alton Towers anymore. He's finished for the season back next February. So I don't know what you're doing now, Simon. Are you back doing the karaoke? Because you got fed up doing the karaoke, didn't you? Got fed up with people. I mean, I can understand that, to be honest. I want this, I want that. Oh, on and on all the time, dear. Can I change my song? Can I do this? Can I do that? It's very difficult doing a karaoke and always trying to remain smiling while you're doing it as well. He says, I was asked why at 47 years old I have never married. So I said, well, a wife is like a hand grenade. Remove the ring and your house is gone. Thank you for that, Simon. King of the jokes. Simon is king of the joke. Good morning to you, Simon. Okay, let's do some of your messages here. Where we are. Here we go. Pete says, on the subject of the lady that won, he says that's a small bum compared to some of the backsides here. Some are like small planets. You get caught in the gravity pull as they walk past. I can imagine that. John says that arse would look safe on your toilet seat. Yeah, I got a new toilet seat, and it's a bit, the hole in the middle, I don't know if the picture's still on here. Let me have a look. Yeah, there it is. The hole in the middle was a bit big. Look at that. Look at that. If you've only got a very small arse, then you're going to fall through that, I'm afraid, if you ever visit my caravan. Very, very, very dangerous indeed. Pete, how do you say Sao Paulo? Sao Paulo. Sao Paulo. Sao Paulo. Oh, I haven't got that almost correct, haven't I? Chris, Kim Kardashian's, that's the one. I mean, her arse looks awful. It looks like an orange skin, doesn't it? It's got the little dimples and all that. Dreadful, dear, dreadful. And if you want a good look at a good arse, take any footballer who's in the league. The entire Brazilian football team, the entire English football team, maybe not Wayne Rooney. Maybe not Wayne Rooney. It's not a nice arse, Wayne Rooney. Cristiano Ronaldo, there is the perfect bum for you boys and girls. His and mine together, actually. No, no, I'm not. No, I know what you're thinking. No, I'm not going to do it. No, I'm not going to go and put on a pair of pants, tight little pants, and show you my arse. It's not going to happen on this programme. This is a clean programme. We can't have people, I'm just going to send, one of those sad keyboard warriors. That's, I'm just going to send Facebook, I'm offended by that. I'm just going to send Facebook a little message. Oh, nudity not accepted. Then you get the email from Facebook that you've been banned for 7 days. Not going to do any of that. Not going to do any of that. You're not going to see my bum. Not here, anyway. Morning to, that's jumping around a little bit there. One moment, please. You've had your teeth done, Chris. I should go back. What's wrong with my teeth? Nothing wrong with my teeth. How rude are you, John? Paul. Was it Paul? Was it Paul? Rude. I remember when I was a kid, all the dentists were Australian. Do you remember that? All the dentists were Australian years ago when I used to be a child and go to dentists. I don't know why that was. Mike says, morning, Chris. What a lovely jacket. Looks just like my grandma's bedroom curtains. Well, she must have very expensive curtains then, dear. How rude are you? There's a lot of rudeness going on this morning. Bedroom curtains? I beg your pardon. All that. Well, would you rather me sit here in like a hooded top or something like that? I try and make the effort, dear. Try and make the effort. I bet, what are you wearing this morning? Just wandering around the house in an old dressing gown, have you? I bet the sleeves of the dressing gown are all like hard where it's dropped down in your dinner, isn't it? And it's never been washed. Morning, Mike. Hello to Steve Murray. Welcome, Steve. Paul reckons that's a good arse, that one I was showing him, or the Brazilian lady. Well, you can have it, love. We don't want it here. Morning to Vassal. Pete, stop that, Pete. You're very rude. Joanna joins us a little bit late today, didn't you, Joanna? What sort of time is this, Joanna? God. The Queen film apparently is 2 hours, says Kevin. That's the Queen film I'm going to watch later on today at the Kinema in the Woods. That's a nice little cinema. It's a privately owned cinema, and it's really old world. It's really old school in there. Look it up. Look it up when I finish the show. Kinema, Kinema, Kinema in the Woods, all right? Paul says, Steve Dixon on Sky... Oh, where's that gone? Just a minute. Steve... Oh, that's gone wrong now. Steve Dixon on Sky News is looking stranger by the week. I don't really watch Sky News. Does he? Has he had his face done, has he? Has he had his face done as well, has he? Why do they do it? Why? It's 5 o'clock in the States at the moment. That's why Joanna's late this morning. Do you want me to start later, Joanna? Is that what it is? Do we need to start later? I have to say, when I do, I'm as you know, I'm not led by numbers at all. Never have been. But I do notice on the Sunday show, seem to be a lot more people around at like 11 o'clock in the morning rather than 9:30 in the morning when I usually do these little shows here. Now, you know, I've recently been to Las Vegas and had the most fantastic time with my nephew there. We had a wonderful time there. Doing all. Pete says I've really cheered him up this morning. Oh, I'll try harder to upset you next time then, Pete. I can't be having people walking around saying I'm happy this morning because I've watched Chris Reardon's United Kingdom Talk from the UK, the world's most popular television. We have become the world's most popular television programme. Did you know that? Absolutely. I mean, it's not mentioned. I don't like it mentioned, you see. I write to the news people You know, oh, did you see the Donald Trump thing yesterday? Hilarious! Hilarious! This bloke, possibly from CNN, he asked him a question he didn't like, so he told him to sit down. Sit down, please. Sit down. And the bloke gets madder by the day. I mean, if he wasn't like, you know, such an important person in the world, the whole President Trump thing could be turned into like a comedy show. It's frightening, really. You just don't know what he's going to do next. Good morning, Right Side Up. Joining us on Vaughan Live this morning. Have you seen the bloke and just laid into him? Sit down. Sit down. He's going like, sit down. And then lays into him. It's unbelievable, that bloke. Anyway, do watch it. When is the next comedy item from President Trump coming along? Christ, 2 more years. I have this dreadful feeling he's going to be voted in for another 4, you know. I'll put money on it. I bet he'll be voted in for another 4 years because people aren't, I don't think people are seeing the seriousness of it. They see the comedy of it. Do you think President Trump thinks he's being funny? Do you think he actually thinks he's being funny? It's a bit of a worry, really. It's a Right Side Up watched it live. Yeah. Pete Branch uses my show in some of his classes. Is that right, Pete? Well, you better cut out the dodgy bits, mate. You'll probably be left with about 20 seconds of vocal, wouldn't you? So, what school do you work? Does the school have a name? Or is it just like Pete Branch's School of English or something like that? What is it? What is it called? You must let me know. Okay, let me have a look. No, Joanna wants it to carry on at the normal time. Okay, so Joanna, we'll do that. We'll do that. Anyway, as you know, I've recently been to Vegas, had a wonderful holiday there. One of the places we went to was Fremont. I don't know if it's called Fremont Street or Fremont, can't remember. And that's like the old Vegas. And you can't walk to it really, not from the new Vegas. That's a cab journey. You get a cab in Vegas, all reasonably priced. We were never, they've all been checked out. You never know. And it's the same in London. So wherever you are in the world, right, you never know. If someone pulls up, do you want a cab? You don't know who that is. They might have a bit of paper. There's my guy. You don't know anything about that person. If you go to a hotel, generally the door staff there, yes sir, cab please, yeah, and they put their hand up and a cab comes across and then they tell them, yeah, could you take these people to the Golden Nugget Casino? Thank you very much. And you get in the cab and that's it. And that's all been seen, you see. It'll be on the hotel cameras as the car pulls off and everything. So you're safe. You're safe. Never ever get into a car that's just rolling along the ground. Oh, do you want a cab, mate? You don't know who that is. And especially in somewhere like America. They've all got guns and this, that and the other, okay? So we went to Fremont. And one of the things we saw there was a zip wire. Now, Fremont Street is the most magical place. You've got to keep your eyes open. There are a few dodgy people walking around, but generally, if you act like you're in, I don't know, the middle of London, with your eyes open, watching everything going on around you, you're perfectly all right, okay? And there are bands playing. And when I say bands playing, we're not talking a couple of people, you know, who have set up on like a busker. We're not talking buskers. They have big stages. There's, I think, 3 big stages there, if I remember rightly. It's either 2 or 3 big stages with rock bands. There's a DJ stage and people dancing in front of there. There's people selling various foods. There's bars. There's just people on their own doing their own thing. There was a bloke dressed up in like a fairy outfit just dancing. And they've all got little hats or plates in front of them. And they hope to receive little donations or tips for their little shows that they're doing, okay? There are casinos, of course, either side, and it's just fantastic. It is just the most fantastic atmosphere. We went down on a Saturday night, so presumably that's the busiest night of the week. It's fantastic. Now, on the roof is loads of LED screens that are like bent, you know, not flat. They're like bent round, so they make the roof. It goes right from one end of the street to the other, and it's quite a long street. And underneath that are zip wires. And you can, for a small fee, go up there, get yourself in the harness, get on the zip wire and float all the way down from one end to the other. Now the zip wires are at varying different levels. They seem to have some lower down and some higher up. I don't know why that is. And you would just get on at the end and off you go and all the way down. Looks fantastic. Not my sort of thing. I don't like heights. Okay, not my sort of thing. My nephew as well. Nope, not interested in doing that. But we watched many people going from one end to the other. And it's a funny thing, they've got a little bag behind them because they get you to take everything off. You know, not clothes, you know, jewellery items, anything that's hanging down, anything that could drop down onto the crowd below. You take all that off, you put it in the little bag literally follows you down the zip wire. Get off at the other end, right? And it does look fantastic. However, in this morning's Daily Mail, look at this. 2 tourists, 2 people who, what's that on there? Oh, I've just spat onto my own screen. Hang on a minute. Where's that gone there? I keep getting these damn little videos open up on their own on the iPad. So annoying that is. 2 people, including one who flew in a Superman-like stance. Because some of the people, you know, they're characters. Lots of characters on Fremont Street. If you want bland, boring people, you know, the sort of person that goes into one of those all-for-one bars, or maybe some of the gay bars in London, like GAY or something like that. If you want everyone that looks all the same and pretty, then Fremont isn't the place for you. This is a place full of characters. We love characters. Where I do my karaoke, Mondays and Fridays, that is full of wonderful characters. That is how Fremont Street is. It's full of these characters. Everyone's there. Everyone's there, right? When people are on there coming on the zip wires, you can dress as anyone, and they have people do dress up as Superman. And while they're going up there like that, da 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 da, Superman, yeah. Okay, so 2 people, including one who, this is in today's Daily Mail, one who flew in a Superman-like stance, were injured after riding the new zip line in Las Vegas. Earlier this week, it's been reported. The Fly Link zip line lets people glide airborne 1,000 feet above the ground over the Link Promenade on the Las Vegas Strip. Oh, just a moment. Have I got this wrong here? Oh, do you know I've got this wrong here? I've got this completely wrong. It's not Fremont. This is the other one. I do beg your pardon, because there's one on Fremont. No, this is not the one that happened at Fremont. This is, I didn't know this one existed. I thought there was only one there. Okay, so I'll read you the story. The zip line lets people glide airborne 1,000 feet above the ground over the Link Promenade on the Las Vegas Strip. So this is on the main Las Vegas Strip, which is it's not really near the old Vegas, okay? So forget what I said about that Fremont there. Caesars Entertainment, who owns both the Promenade and Zipline, said that the rider injured themselves because they were gliding in the supermarket-like prone position, according to KTNV TV. One of the people who claims he was injured told the television station that the incident happened on Monday night towards the end of the ride. He said the brake deployed, causing a head injury that required several staples. Oh, I say, must have banged into something, dear. How awful. Caesars Entertainment said that the guests who ride the zip line will not be allowed to go into the prone position in future. Oh, right, okay. Instead, they will have to be seated throughout the duration of the ride. The company insisted that the ride is safe, pointing to more than 3,000 guests who used the attraction without incident. So there we are. But you know, anything like that is possible to hurt yourself on anything, you know, isn't it really? So that's the zip ride along the main Las Vegas Strip, not the Fremont one, which runs. Whether they've had any accidents there, I don't know. This is the one that goes along the main strip there. But, you know, everything has accidents. We keep hearing these. Well, recently, actually, last year, we heard a few times that rides on some of the fairground attractions and that thing at Alton Towers. Do you remember that thing at Alton Towers? Where, I don't know if it was one person or several people, they lost their legs. They had to have their legs removed because a ride went wrong. I mean, I don't go on roller coasters or anything like that, really. I'm frightened to go on those damn things. Tearing. I'm sure most of them are very safe. But occasionally, it's true, some people get hurt. If you're going to take risks like you want to fly, I don't know, 100 miles an hour on this little train and there's all these bits of metal and all that business that can go wrong, or gears that could get stuck, or it's just, you know, these things do happen. Sometimes something goes wrong, and hopefully you won't be the one that falls up on that. Okay. Pete, he says, I'm the country. Oh, hang on a minute. Did he put his names there? Yes, Twin Peaks Language School. That's it. I'm the country pedagogic. Pedagogic? I don't know what that word means. Don't know what that word means. I'm the country is it ped? No, pedagogic director at Twin Peaks Language School. I also teach here and privately. At the school, I mainly teach famous actors and screenwriters. Oh, wow, Pete. Oh, that's good. It's good what you do. I'm actually thinking of doing something. This won't be any good. Your students will be too old for this. I'm sure they will. But I'm thinking of doing something new, some new videos, reading children's stories for little ones. I don't know what you think of that. I'd like to give that a go. I've been speaking to my brother-in-law. He thinks that's a good idea as well. I've been looking and no one does that. No one does that. And the reason is I've had the great joy in reading my great-nieces and great-nephews' stories, which I've done a couple of times now. And it is great pleasure to be just sitting there and reading a story and having small people paying full attention, and you can make them happy or think about something with some of the stuff you're saying. We'd be talking the under 10s, sort of, I suppose, between the ages of 4 and 12, something like that. So I'm considering reading children's stories. Now, I've already looked into it a little bit, and I think possibly I'll sit in a chair. I won't be dressed like this. I don't think I'll be dressed like this. I'll sit in a chair with something behind me and literally just read the book. Perhaps make a few noises. I'm not 100% sure of how I'm going to do it. I think probably I'll just stick up the camera in front of me and do it and then see what it looks like. I may or may not show you, depending on what I think of it. But I'd like to give that a go and perhaps upload some videos of that to YouTube for people to show their children, and perhaps they can get a little bit of pleasure out of that. It's not, no, I'm never led by money. As you well know, I'm never led by money. It's not about viewers or anything like that. But, you know, if I was doing some stories like that, and now and again, you might get an email from a parent or something. Thank you very much for reading the children's stories. My children love what you do. That's what it is for me. That's what I just want to be loved. I just want to be loved by you and you and you and you and you. Is that Marilyn Monroe does that one? Maybe I should do it in the white dress and the fan under. No, that probably wouldn't work, would it? So there we are. I think, yes, like Johnny Morris used to do. We used to have a programme on in the UK called Jack and Ori. And basically they had stars from the television, and they would literally sit in a chair and read a book. The difficulty is you've got to be very careful on copyright. Now, the stories I read will have to be either out of copyright or not subject to copyright. Because sometimes people upload their stuff, as indeed I do. I upload my stuff, right? None of my stuff is copyright. Anyone can use it or show it to someone else, and there is no fee payable, okay? So I need to look for stories that are not in copyright so that I can, without having to run after people, oh, please can I do this, please, or can I have your permission? No, I want to be able to just read the stories and, of course, credit the writer at the end, of course. read the stories, hopefully children's stories. And I bet if I do a little bit of a search on the internet, I'll find possibly some authors who haven't been able to get their stories published for whatever reason and would be quite happy for some bloke to sit in a chair and read them out. Obviously, I would read them first. We can't have anything nice, nasty for children other than perhaps, I don't know, a dragon blowing fire at someone, and we could go that far. But, you know, as sort of, you know, and the animal was running around and the tiger bit into its neck and blood was put, you wouldn't want to go that far, would you? You know, so that's something I'd like to do, and I'm going to give that a go at some point. Good morning to Charlie Freak, who's on the Vaughan Live. Good morning, Charlie. We're not going to be here much longer now. We've been chatting for an hour already. John said there's loads on the web. Thank you, John. I'll have a look for that. And he's quite right. Johnny Morris used to do it. Johnny Morris used to do it with animals, and he'd make the noise of the animals. I'd forgotten about him, actually. You're quite right there. Pete says, contact Macmillan or Oxford Press. You've got the perfect voice for recording some of the audios needed for the language books and kids' books. I'd like to do that. I'd like to do that. I didn't know Pete's in charge of all the teachers at his language school. Material training, hiring, firing. He basically runs the school. Well, I didn't know that, Pete. I didn't know that, Pete. I just thought you was like a bit of a teacher. That was all. Teaching and teaching and teaching, yes. Alrighty, let's do today's birthdays, boys and girls, on this, what is it, Thursday already. I tell you, the time goes so quickly while I'm up here, and I'm always busy. Always busy. I love it, and there's never time. If you know, I'll be honest with you, back in Bracknell on nights off, I used to be a bit of a lonely character. I really did, and on nights off, I wouldn't know what to do with myself. Doesn't happen up here. Always something to do. I love it. Okie doke. Happy birthday this morning. Come on, where are you? There we go. To David Coleman. Now, I don't think it's the David Coleman from the BBC who used to do all the political programmes, but I'm sure you're just as nice. David Coleman, happy birthday to you on this Thursday. Adrian Eleftherio. Christ, has it been a whole year since I wished you happy birthday again? Sometimes these names come up again and you don't really... these are a lot of these people I know, but kind of you lose contact with people over the years. That's just how it is, isn't it? And Adrian, I worked with in both the Black Cat. I think he worked in the Black Cat with me, but certainly the two brewers in Clapham many, many years ago now. And he's doing other stuff now, and I'm doing other stuff as well. And the name comes round again, you know, and you suddenly realise it was a whole year since you wished them happy birthday. Well, what are we now? 7 weeks to Christmas? The time goes faster and faster. Happy birthday to you. Someone else I had the pleasure of working with at Heaven, where I was DJ about 10 years ago, was Gabriel Opuku. Happy birthday to you, Gabriel. He's done some stuff on the MTV. Caroline Awadown is 60 years old today. Happy birthday to Caroline. Nikki Wright. Nikki Wright is the person who assisted me when my mother died, and with my half of the money, I invested it in properties. That is why I'm a landlord now. Not because of money I've earned over the years and invested, but because, sadly, my mum and dad died. That's why I've got the properties I've got. And I always like to mention that. I always like to put you right. You know, I've managed to build up these little... Okay, some of it is my own work, yes. But the basics of it is the fact that mum and dad left me not massive amounts of money, but a nice bit of money, half to me, half to my sister. My sister had a family at the time. They spent all theirs, new car, new furniture, you know, this thing. I was on my own, so I didn't need to do any of that. So I invested all mine in property, and I've still got it all, minus one. I sold one because the lease was going down and down and down. I think it got to about 70 years, so I thought I'd better get rid of that quick, which I did. And Nikki is the person I went to, and I said, right, I've got this bit of money. What do I do? Do I go and buy a house outright? And she sent me to another money man. His name's Bob, who advised me, no, that's not what you do. You buy one-bedroom flats. You don't buy them outright. You put down a deposit as a mortgage, and you make sure that the rent will cover the mortgage. And nearly all of the time that happens. You've got to do it right. You can't just go and it's nothing is short term. You're not going to make a bit of money tomorrow. You know, 10 years, 15, 20 years down the line, yes. Year one, no, because property prices go up and down. Where I think they're coming down a little bit at the moment. But, you know, ride it out and they go back up again. That's what happens. So thank you very much, Nikki. Happy birthday to Nikki Wright. John Ryan, good morning to you. Happy birthday to John Ryan. Terrence Stringer is 48 years old today. Happy birthday, Terrence. And Jerrilynn Blackwood, it's her birthday as well. So, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. All right. Happy birthday to you all, boys and girls. That's it for the show today. Cake. Enough is as good as a feast. I love cake. Charlie Freak, I absolutely love cake. I don't get enough of it. I don't dare eat cake. I immediately put on 2 stone in weight. Alrighty. Thanks very much for joining us on the show today. I'll hopefully be with you again tomorrow morning. And I'll be able to tell you what I think of the film Bohemian Rhapsody, which I shall be watching tonight, possibly with an ice cream and some popcorn. Right now I'm going to go and visit my sister. She's painting one of my nephew's room at the moment. Very nice indeed. Have a lovely day. Thanks for watching and listening. Cheerio now.